Hello everyone, welcome to the second episode of my YouTube channel called Power Podium. Today we are going to look at a very interesting use case which is generating and watermarking documents with QR code. Now for some of you, it may be like you may be unfamiliar with what a QR code is. Now a QR code stands for quick response code and it's a 2D barcode that can store information such as URL or a identifier or anything. Now this alphanumeric information in the form of QR code can be decoded and read using a QR code scanner or a QR code reader app on a smartphone. Okay, so how are we going to drive this solution? Basically, when a file gets uploaded in SharePoint Online Library, we will trigger our Power Automate solution, which will give us a PDF. It will also generate a QR code, and then this QR code will be placed on that generated PDF as a watermark. That's it. It's a very simple Power Automate solution, and there are a number of different products in the market available to go ahead and deliver this solution for you. Since I work with Muhimbi, we are going to use Muhimbi here. Let me help you with my intro. My name is Yash Kamdar, and I work as a cloud infrastructure consultant at Rapid Circle and as a Muhimbi consultant for Muhimbi. I have previously delivered sessions as a part of Global Power Platform Bootcamp and the Microsoft Power Platform Workshop, both held in Pune, India. I am a Microsoft certified professional. If you want to have a quick chat with me or connect with me, you can connect with me on email, Twitter, and LinkedIn handlers. And I also run a personal website called kamdaryash.wordpress.com. That being said, let us now jump to the Power Automate solution. Before I go ahead and explain to you the different configurations in this Power Automate solution, let us go ahead and set things up in SharePoint Online first. So we are going to need two libraries. One is going to be the source library where I am going to pick this particular file up and convert it to PDF with a QR code watermark. And we are going to generate that in this destination library. Let me go ahead and clear this file for you so we can test this properly. Okay, now back to the flow. So our trigger is when a file is created in a folder. So whenever a file gets uploaded like this, our flow will get triggered. Use the correct site address and the correct folder ID. As I said, the files to be watermarked is our source file. That is why I have mentioned the files to be watermarked over here. Get file content. This is another important action where we are going to fetch the file content of the file uploaded in the source library. Now, how are we going to refer to that file is using a parameter called file identifier. So this file identifier parameter is available inside the when a file is created in a folder trigger here, which is going to give us the location of the correct file, that is the file that was uploaded in the source library. So we are going to get the file content of this particular file itself and not some other file, which is very important. Next is the convert document. Now this action is native to Muhimbi. What this action does is it just grabs the file content, which we will be available from the get file content action, and then spits out a processed file content, which is basically the PDF version of the file that is uploaded in the source library. So this is going to need three important parameters. One is the source file name, and the file name we will be obtaining from when a file is created in a folder action. So here is the file name. We are just going to push this over here. File content, this is going to be available from the get file content, which is over here, and that is being pushed over here. The output format is PDF. Now, there might be a question in your mind like, why is there a need to convert the document to PDF and then watermark it with a QR code? We could have normally just went ahead and watermarked the document with a QR code, right? Well, you're wrong. If we go ahead and watermark a document like a .doc file with a QR code, then somebody will be able to go ahead and remove that, right? Why are watermarks used? Watermarks are used so that that particular watermark always remains intact on the document so that it is untouchable. And what is that one format via which we can ensure that a watermark remains untouchable? PDF, right? That's why we are going to convert the document to PDF first and then watermark it with QR code so that nobody is able to play around, remove, or edit the watermark. Okay, quite simple. Now the next action is add QR code watermark. This is also native to Muhimbi. It is expecting different kinds of parameters from us. Let's study them one by one. Source file content. I already told you that we are going to go ahead and push the QR code on top of PDF, right? Now the processed file content that we obtain from the convert document is exactly the content that we want to push watermark over. So we are just going to go ahead and push this over here. Content. Now I told you that you can generate QR codes from different types of content. So here we are going to generate the QR code out of the file identifier. Version. There are 40 different versions of QR codes available in the market. Okay, we are just going to choose auto. Input mode. There are different input modes like the binary, alphanumeric, numeric, and there is one more. Right now, we support these three kinds of input modes. Error connection level. There are different types of error connection level as well, which are low, medium, high, and quartile. Right now, let's go ahead and select low. Now you must be saying that these three, like the version, input mode, and the error correction level, you need to find, like, you want to know more details about them. Don't worry, in the video description, I'm going to go ahead and use one URL, this one, which has all the data you're looking for. So this page has information about all the different kinds of QR codes, like all the 40 different kinds of QR codes, along with the different input modes, as you can see, numeric, alphanumeric, binary. I told you there is one other called kanji. Okay, now let me cover the error correction level a bit more because that is something which is important. Now, error correction level is basically what if a certain part of your QR code gets damaged, right? But if you take a look at this snip here, you will see damaged but still decodable QR code. So basically, the error correction level that you choose is going to allow you to still go ahead and decode that QR code in case your QR code gets damaged. For example, if I select level L, then only 7% of the code words can be restored from the damaged QR code. If I go ahead and select level H, then 30% of code words can be restored from the damaged QR code. Okay, this is quite simple. That brings us to the position. So where exactly do you want this QR code to be present? I want this QR code to be present on the top left of my generated PDF. This is the width and the height. So the width of the generated QR code will be 200 and the height will also be 200. Opacity. This is important thing. Opacity is the level of transparency. So 100% means it will be totally visible and 1% means it will be completely invisible. So if you can see something popped up, yep, that is the help. So 100 is fully visible and 1 is barely visible. Let's select 100. Now there are different options for, the start page and the end page of the PDF where you want this particular QR code to be present. So you can mention them over here. Suppose you want QR codes only to be present on the first and second page. So what I need to do is mention the first start page as 1 and the end page as 2. So the QR code will only be present on the first and the second page. Right now, I'm not mentioning anything. That means on all the pages, the QR code watermark will come up. Rest of the options are pretty basic and I don't think we need to cover them. The last action is the create file action, which is very important. So mention the site address and the right folder path where you want the PDF to be generated. As I told you that I want it to be present on the destination library. So I have mentioned the destination library over here. Now, the add QR code watermark is going to spit a processed file content. So we are just going to go ahead and use processed file content. Okay. File name for the test, Let us say QR code watermark. So this will be the file name, and it is very important to go ahead and include the .pdf. Otherwise, your file will get created without any extension. Okay, so .pdf. In case if you want the final PDF to have the same name as the name of the source file, you need to go ahead and select base file name over here. Okay. Now, one important thing, you can see that the processed file content was present in two places. Do not get confused. In the create file, we need to go ahead and select the processed file content of the add QR code watermark, because this is going to contain the QR code watermark. If you select the processed file content of the convert document, you will just get the PDF, not the QR code. Okay. So select the right parameter inside the right action in the dynamic content. Be very careful. Okay, now we have made all the configurations. We are ready to go ahead and test this. So I'm going to click on test, and I'm going to use one of my previous runs to do this. So the file is already present over here. This is just a warning. We can ignore this. The flow is running. In some time, you will see a PDF created over here, which will have the QR code watermark. So let's refresh this. Meanwhile, the flow is in action. So as you can see, this is a very simple solution. Okay, it just sits flawlessly on your Power Automate. So do give it a try once you are able to watch this video in the entirety. And if you have any questions, then please feel free to comment them on the video, and I will make it a point to answer each of them. One more important thing is that a blog is also coming up on this particular solution soon. I will mention the URL of the blog on the video. So if you want a line by line description of how this particular solution works, then you can also refer to that blog. Okay, as you can see, our flow ran successfully. Let's go to the destination library. Yep, we have the final QR code watermark PDF over here. Let's open it to test and check if the QR codes are present on all the pages and if a QR code got generated in the first place. So, ta-da! Can you see we have a QR code, and this is a 88 page long PDF file, but you can see that the QR code is present on all the pages. Now this QR code has come a bit, bit big, but you can play around with the height and width and adjust so that you get a QR code with the required height and width. You can also place them anywhere, like in the top center, in the top left, in the top bottom, or in the center itself. You need to go ahead and play with these configurations. Okay, thank you, and let me know how you liked the video. If you have any questions, feel free to ask, and like, share, and comment. Thank you. Bye bye.